All right, so finally we're on the fifth episode of the Paranormal Chat Show, and I believe with this episode we complete a month because if the show is airing every single week, and then yeah, we have already completed a month. And thank you so much for all our viewers who are basically watching the live stream or after the video is posted according to their time zone or whenever they are free. Thank you so much keeping me and the team inspired to keep continuing making such chat shows or episodes basically where we are calling in calling in guests from different backgrounds from different countries talking about paranormal or like when we started off this paranormal chat show, we had this tagline that we'll be talking anything and everything about paranormal. So, sticking to that very tagline, we will be having our today's show. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we do not have any guests tonight lined up because the topic that I have selected for this week, I think I'll be talking on it in general, and I'll be putting my point of view. But maybe next week, or the coming, or the next to next week, or the third week or fourth week, we have guests planned up, and they'll be joining us for the shows, and they'll be talking anything and everything paranormal. Now, many of the viewers would be thinking, Sir Bajit, why are you so obsessed with your hair? The answer is I am, and I don't know why. That's totally different topic. Let's talk about paranormal. So the topic for tonight's episode is now this is a very not very, but yeah, this is a suggested and demanded topic, and pairs many of pairs members requested that I should talk about it. So, and that is the reason I chose this topic to talk. And the topic is types of hauntings and how to face them or how to tackle them, and basically how to overcome that very fear of the haunting. And yeah, so this is the topic. And let's start. So if you ask me, Sarvajit, that what are the types of hauntings that I would classify, is there are only two types of hauntings. One is residual haunting, and two is intelligent haunting. And everyone who is into paranormal or has some basic knowledge of paranormal must be knowing it. Now, there are many differences in residual haunting and intelligent haunting. In residual haunting, no, this is one of the most widespread or commonly found haunting. Sorry, the reason being that for example, you might have heard, especially in India. I think it is in India mainly, the lady in white sari is an Indian phenomena. And so what generally people see is there's a place, there's a road, there's a cliff, there's a tree basically, and what they generally see is a woman in white sari basically, and they would be seeing her roaming around or crossing the road, or many bizarre incidences also include in it, like someone is sitting on the tree or someone is hanging down the tree, and many such incidences. And you'll also notice that these hauntings, the astral haunting mainly occurs at a certain frequency, right? At a certain time period. For example, might be some incidences happening on November 18th, basically, because the thing or the hauntings or the scene that you're basically watching, or the women who's basically walking down the path, might have died or passed away on this very date, 18th November. So, before you conclude anything regarding residual haunting, let me tell you this very thing is that residual haunting does not include any kind of soul. There is no spirit in it. Whatever you will be seeing in a residual haunting are just the emotions, are just Now restaurant hauntings, in other words, is like a movie which is getting played over and over, which and is going to disappear of its time. So suppose what happens in if you ask that how do I explain this very thing? Suppose when a person dies, he or she generates a certain kind of emotion. Right. Like a person on deathbed, or person who passed away in an accident, or some kind of thing, or some kind of way the person passed away. Emotion that we generate at not only when we are dying, but every single moment we generate different kind of emotions. We react to different kind of emotions with certain emotions. So for example, the particular woman who is wearing a white sari, or any kind of sari basically, and you are seeing her near the tree, or near the road, or in a building, walking on the terrace, whatever you are seeing, there is 100% chances that the person, like I was saying, that we generate certain kind of emotions at every single point of our time. Now, suppose coming down to another best example, just ignore the women thing. Uh, for example, if you go to a war place, or basically a fort, right, or a palace, basically. Now, these places have seen many incidences, and they are the sole evidence of what has happened: murder, deaths, ceremonies, marriages, and whatnot. Like, they are the sole evidence of everything. People have found, but these buildings, they're still standing strong. So for example, so there are times, if you go into a place which used to be a palace or a castle or something, then you might hear some kind of noise. The the army walking, or the sound of the swords, or the chandeliers moving, or the trumpets. Basically, you may hear them. Now, there are 99% chances, or even 100% chances, that these are not real ghosts, or not happenings of a spiritual being, or something like that. It might be the reason, or it might be the result of a residual haunting. Now, see, there are irons in buildings. There are certain other elements who have the ability to capture those emotions. And now, how do they capture? It is a very lengthy explanation, and I would sincerely request whoever is watching this, if you want to know more about it, I think Google will be answering you more better than me, because I have understood it, and it will be really difficult for me to explain to you without sitting with you or having a pen or paper and whatnot. So it will be better if you just Google things, that how our emotions get captured in a particular thing, or a particular object. So residual haunting is a result of the excess of emotions that have been generated over time, and these emotions have got stored in particular elements who kind of radiate them with time, and it keeps radiating, keeps radiating, like a movie I said, and radiates for a particular period of time, and then it disappears. Yeah. And then coming down to intelligent hauntings. Now, intelligent hauntings, this is a kind of haunting, but then it has many other sub levels. Now, to be explaining what is intelligent haunting. In intelligent haunting, there is involvement of a spiritual being, or in simple words, in intelligent haunting, whatever is haunting you has an intelligence. And how do you know it? It responds to your questions, it responds to your reactions, or responses to your commands. So in digital haunting, there is an involvement of a spiritual being. Now, like I said, the intelligent hauntings has many levels. For example, for example, there are many sub levels, and I will be explaining one. No, happens in live stream, right? Yeah. So it has many levels, intelligent hauntings, and the first is I would like to start with is poltergeist activities. Now, many people have watched the movie Poltergeist, and many have even proper idea that what is exactly a restaurant, or sorry, a poltergeist activities, and what generally. Sorry, my audio has gone, I believe. So yeah, so many people know what is poltergeist activity is. Now poltergeist is taken from a German word which means polter means noisy and geist means ghost. So in other words, the poltergeist activity means an activity by a noisy ghost. By noisy ghost, it means the ghost is noisy, or it likes to create a lot of humble and rumble, or it likes to create sounds, it likes to create disturbances as compared to other ghosts, other categories of ghosts. We'll be coming to those categories. Now the poltergeist activities, now even, like I say this every single time, all the paranormal activities, not just poltergeist activities, as well hauntings, intelligent hauntings, whatever it is related to the paranormal, there are 95% chances that those incidences are something that can be that can have a rational explanation. So even if you jump to a conclusion that, oh, that is a ghost, or that is a poltergeist activity, or that's just a haunting, or whatever that shit is, make sure you have researched on it, you know what you're going to conclude, you know what you're dealing with, and then make a statement. Otherwise what happens is that particular place doesn't matter, no matter how good that place is, that's one incident by which was experienced by a single person, gets spread to thousands of others in over the years, and that beautiful place which used to be a hangout place for children, for couples, or for oldish people just to pass their time or be in nature, is now said to be haunted. And so don't rumor. If you know a place is haunted, or if you have any kind of doubt, invite a paranormal investigator or a team, let them investigate this very place, and then see what is really happening and what not. So poltergeist activities has also some explanations. For example, now no example, this is a real thing. Poltergeist activities can also happen like 90% of the time. It can also happen to by our own mind. Now many people might have heard or might have read in different blogs basically, or in different platforms, that our mind has immense ability. It has the ability to perform what not, right? So it can it can change, or like basically it can even change the reality in very simple words. The bending of spoon, or the bending of moving of spoon, or moving of glass, or breaking of glass, or what those magic shows basically you watch people do through their mind, or like mind control or mind reading, whatever. These are possible, and our mind has the ability to do it. Now how is it possible? In a very simple way is that, do you ever realize that things or the works, basically, even before you, for example, I have my phone right here, and suppose I wish to take, I wish to check the messages on my messenger. Now before I take my phone and open Facebook and go to messenger and check my message, I have to first think, okay, my phone is there and I want to check the messages. So for every physical action, or for every physical thing that you do, it first gets manifested in your thoughts, in your mind. So if you can make your mind limitless, maybe you can make your physical actions limitless too. So coming back to the topic to poltergeist activities, it has been seen that most of the poltergeist activities revolves around teenage girls, or teenage boys, or basically teenage children. Now during teenage, our body goes through drastic hormonal changes, and there are our body is always charged up, and we are already charged up, always energetic. So what we do is, suppose if I want a bottle to move from my mind, I think that particular stage, the teenage stage, is the best stage when you can do it, because of the high energy that you have. Suppose if continuously I'm thinking about that, if I'm continuously thinking कि काश मेरे घर में भूत आ जाए, या फिर काश मेरे साथ भी ऐसा हो जैसे मैंने मूवी में देखा, या फिर whatever you want to think, it can happen, and then it happens. Like you can throw objects, you can bend spoons, you can read minds. So the teenager period is a very high energetic time for everyone, and anything can be done by those teenage children, and that is why proper care is taken by the parents and by the guides, yeah, uh, for of the children, so that they mold properly, because that is their time when they can do anything that they want. So poltergeist activities can happen due to this very reason. Like if you want your house to be haunted, and if you're continuously thinking that may this bottle fly away from the table, or may that a knife come towards me of its own without even touching it, then this thing can happen. This is what poltergeist activities is. And but like I said, 98.9% there is a rational explanation. The rest 1%, yeah, there might be some spiritual activities really going on. So, and then the next category, before that, I like to have some water because I'm thirsty. Hmm. Where is it going? Yeah, properly audible now. So the next category is I would like to touch is demonic activities. Now, it is a very I wouldn't say funny, or very controversial, to be very honest, because I am a certified I am a certificate holder in demonology from the New Ministry Church School, USA, and I have read cases. I have dealt with demonic cases. Demonic cases, just to let you people know, like they had their explanations of not being demonic, but according to people, that they were demonic, and it is pretty much controversial. So if you ask me, Satyajit, what is your view on demonic activities? I would say 50-50%. Like half of my brain, or half of my mind, or half of me wants to believe in the demonic activities, and the rest 50 is like, no, this shit can't happen, right? But time sorry, time immom what the heck, I just changed the word. Now, if you are a new viewer and you are kind of you might have, if you are annoyed by what just happened right now, see, this is a live streaming, and I have been saying this from the past 4 episodes that uh, in live streamings anything can happen. Like I am at my place, I have my family, you can hear my sister screaming from behind the door, or even I can, or even you can see me fumbling because I'm not reading a script here, right? I'm just in the present state, and I have been given a topic by myself, and I'm talking on it continuously, giving my views. So two things are going. I'm thinking and I'm speaking. So it's a very fast thing, and I have to match it. So there are times when I may fumble, I may forget the word, I may pronounce a word wrongly. So pardon please. And I think if you just ignore these mistakes, the rest of the show you are going to enjoy it, right? So demonic activities, yeah. So time has been the evidence that there are many incidences that have happened over the years, like from the beginning of the creation, that people do term some kind of activities as demonic activities. So how do you know, how do you know that the place is your place is haunted, or has demonic activities going on? Now, the demonic activities and the poltergeist activities, if the poltergeist activity is really happening, then there's a difference between them. In poltergeist activities, you see some high level paranormal activities, for example, knocking sounds, banging of doors, banging of windows, lights flickering, electricity going crazy, things getting thrown, you getting physically attacked and whatnot. And sorry for this thing, what just happened right now for the wave. And in demonic activities, the same things happen. I'm sorry, but in demonic activities, like what I have studied, I will just put it here, and I'm not going to force this into your mind. I'm just going to say or put what I have read from the studies that I have done, from the books, from online, from the cases and everything. Is that in demonic activities, no, demons are mythological beings. You can count that, right? And then if you ask the definition of demons, the demons are those entities who have never walked earth, or so you can totally imagine what kind of energies or what kind of entities they are. And it is said that the demons do mimic our gods, or right. So in demonic activities, there are certain signs that happen that may like, if you believe in demonic activities, then these are the ways where you can differentiate if your place is really haunted by demonic activities. Now you'll be saying there are things that there will be things happening in numbers of three knocks, three scratches, three the number three occurring every single time, something related to three, some kind of bad happenings or some kind of warnings that we're getting in numbers of three. Now, why number three is because it is said that the demons basically try to mimic, or they basically try to make fun of the Holy Trinity. Now, the Holy Trinity is a very common word for all the religions, but if we go by Christianity, then it means the Holy Spirit, the Holy God, and the Holy Son. And if we go by Hinduism, then Holy Trinity, we all know the Holy Trinity is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar. And other religions too have their Holy Trinity and Trinity basically. So the demons basically try to mimic them or try to make fun of them in numbers of three. So that is the reason they start to show or do things in number of threes. Apart from this numerical thing, there might be some um, differences in order. And smells, you may get the smell of sulfur in a very how do I say, like very vividly or in a very common way, like sulfur everywhere, you're smelling sulfur for no apparent reason. This is one of the reason, this is one of the ways, or one of the thing that you can notice or take account of if you think your house is haunted. And apart from that, you may also mm, hear the gigglings, or you may also hear the voice of a child basically. And it is said and has been seen that when a demon is trying to attach itself to a particular family, to a particular house, or to a particular person, the first stage of operation, it is called operation, the first stage of possession basically, it's called operation. The demon tries to show itself as a child, because when we see a child or when we hear a child, we kind of get loose that, oh, that's child, that's a baby who is crying to get help, or a small girl who is trying to get help, or she needs a mummy or someone. So we get loose, or we lose that strength in ourselves, and we basically get exposed to whatever that demon is trying to do. Now, you have to understand that before a demon tries to possess you or a family, or tries to attach you, or attach itself to the family or you or any of a family member, do remember that the demon needs permission to do it. Like, it will be trying different ways, it will be giving you different signs, it will be trying to manipulate your brain and whatnot, just to get that yes from your mouth, so that its further operation. So now you know, if you feel any such things, not only demons, like any kind of spiritual possession, spirit or the demon, they need your permission to do the position and the rest of the operation. So just take care of it. Even if you hear a child giggling in the middle of nowhere, do not confuse it with being a small spirit, the spirit of a small child or a small girl who's trying to get help. So just stay away, right? If your house is haunted, do not be a macho, or do not be someone, or do not be over smart, because if you do not know about it, I would sincerely suggest, please do not venture, please do not try to touch something जिसके बारे में आपको कुछ पता भी नहीं है. And for example, there is this ball that is kept, and it is a very high temperature, but it doesn't looks like, and you just go and grab it. What will happen? Your hand will burn. The same thing, if you do not know about it internally, externally, and extensively, do not go and just be a macho, then say that, okay, no one can do anything, no one can do any harm to me, and I'm the greatest of fear. No, don't underestimate the spiritual world. Now, this is demonic activities. The other category of intelligent hauntings is shadow people. Because shadow people are like underestimated, or like people, most of the investigators, even they kind of ignore them, as in they do not, they have never tried to find a proper reason for the cause of shadow people, or the shadow activities, or basically the shadow thing. And shadows, and even I even completely believe that even you might have been very much familiar with shadow person. And if you have a friend who if you have a friend who has experienced something paranormal, then shadow person is like the most common thing they would be explaining. They would be saying to you, because it is very common, and by the name itself you can guess that a shadow person is nothing but an entity that kind of looks like a shadow. And there are times when you're like, for example, you're reading or studying or using a phone, and suddenly you see a shadow crossing by from the corner of your eyes. So yeah, that is what those are what generally shadow persons are. And so, like I said, this is a type of haunting activity that has no real explanation. They are, let's just say, they're different form of ghost. They are usually shapeless dark masses, and mostly seen with your, like I said, the peripheral of your eyes. And like, but what makes them a different from other entities or from ghosts is that it is said that mostly they are known to like they can move across walls. And like they said that they do not wear any kind of clothes, which is pretty much obvious, because you are just seeing their shadows. And and even they say they are evil entities, because most of the psychics or people who have experienced them say that whenever they see one, they feel scared, because they just, the black masses were just moving, right? And there's this one incident I have I was reading about it a couple of days back, that there are mostly two common types of shadow people, and the one is the hatman kind of thing, like you will be seeing. Now, these are legends, I've read about it, do not take consider it as my own view, right? So there are legends that there's the one kind of shadow person or shadow being where you will see that being wearing a hat, and they are called the hatman. And there is this different kind of shadow being um, who are basically seen wearing a hoodie kind of thing. All right. So there are two type of shadow people, and this is what people used to differentiate, or kind of give the names of hatman and the hooded shadow person. Now, how to tackle them? Basically, I'll be explaining how to tackle the all the hauntings at the end of the end of this episode, that I can then cover all the topics and then do. And so these are one such kind, but there's another kind of haunting that many people might not have heard about, is a portal hauntings. Now, right? A portal aren't really a new concept, as we have seen them in a lot of sci-fi movies, and but in real world, portal hauntings are considered controversial, as there is little known, and the idea is mostly theory or speculation. Like this is how the paranormal world survives, either on theory, on speculations, or rumors. Now, portals are thought to be doorways to another world or dimension in which entities travel through. It is speculated that portals are not limited to one location, region, or limited or to particular sacred grounds, typical places that experience a wide range of portal hauntings. Possibly because, before I say what are these portal hauntings, there are many times when I have experienced portal hauntings, and a portal is it is not totally not the way you have seen in sci-fi movies, basically in how the Hollywood or Bollywood has taught us. Now, portals can be created at any place, at any time, at any point of the day. So, what is a portal in general thing? Portal, like I said, is a doorway spiritual entities can travel, or basically they act as a medium act as a medium between the spiritual world and the physical world. So and you don't need a particular place. Like I said, you don't need a particular place to open a portal. Just stand at a place and just invite a ghost to come and talk to you. You're basically opening a portal there. You're basically opening a portal where the spiritual beings can come through that particular medium and talk to you. So that is what general portal hauntings is. Now, the portal haunting generally takes place at places where now they're not limited, but these happen to places where there are some kind of ritual activities have been performed, some kind of spiritual rituals, like some satanic rituals or some black magic rituals, some kind of bad things, bad rituals. So this portal opens up. Apart from that, if you have used a Ouija board, so you're creating a portal. Coming to this very topic of Ouija, I'm those um, people, but I think it is funny and not very pleasant thing to be, doing such thing, because see, the Ouija board, like a couple of shows back, we were talking about Ouija board, and we were I was touching points on the possibilities and do's and don'ts of Ouija board. Now, like I had said earlier, 99% of the time it is your nerve, it is the idiomotor effect that is basically running, or basically the reason you are seeing some movement on your Ouija board. But then the rest 1%, there are chances that something might, there might be this 1% chance that there might be a portal coming up, and any kind of spirit can just come in. It can be bad, it can be evil, it can be anything, basically, to be very honest. And what makes this scene very worse is that when a portal is opened and some kind of spiritual beings are coming through, you have no idea that what kind of energy or what kind of spirit has come in. And that is what makes which are really scary, or any kind of communication really scary. If you have knowledge, if you have been in this field for a very long time, you are acquainted with the energies, right? So if you are investigating at a place, many investigators might relate to this. If you're investigating at a place and the place has very bad vibes, you will be knowing it, that there are bad vibes in here. But a person who is so charged, so excited to use a Ouija board, he or she won't be knowing. Now, there are many students basically who are trying to use Ouija board because they wish to know the future regarding their career. Now, this is a very absurd thing because the future can be changed. Everyone knows this. Even the spiritual world knows this, that you can change your future. Even if you see yourself as a loser in front of the mirror, anything can happen in just 2 to 3 days, or 2 to 3 months, or 2 to 3 years, that your whole life can change. And this can happen. So what's the point of calling, or we're doing a Ouija board session to call in a spirit who will be saying you about your future, and you are going to completely believe that very spirit who you have never met when it was alive, or you have never known or never read about him, and you are just going to believe in him blindly? How absurd is that, and how bizarre is that? Now many people do it, many students do it, and I believe this is wrong, right? Like, if you want to change your future, do it by your work and not by knowing what is in the future. And even if and even if the spirit says you the right future, and if you're not working on it, then, my friend, even if there is a prediction that you are going to be the next billionaire, and you are just sitting there, playing PS4, or basically not trying to achieve that thing, then nothing is going to happen. Future can be changed, and everyone knows about it. And for example, you are doing this Ouija board session to know your future. What are the guarantees that, or what are the chances that the spirit who is going to come down is a good spirit? Or what are the chances that the spirit which is coming through that portal is going to give you the right future readings and not manipulate it? There are many chances, right? So don't be a foolish person and try to communicate to ghosts to know your future rather than work on it. Try to change it. I know we are debating from the topic of paranormal, but this is a very sincere, this is a very serious thing, because I have heard many people who are just trying to communicate with the spiritual world, either because their life is in mess and they want to know about the future, or their career is in stake and they want to know what is going to be happening in their career, and many bizarre reasons. Now, the spiritual world, let's just, if a person is doing this, then they're basically getting exposed to spiritual world. Please don't do it. It is a very sincere suggestion from me, from my team Pairs, the Parapsychology and Investigation Research Society. Please do not do it. And I think this is the right time to plug in that our newest merch have already been rolling, and you can find them on facebook.com/by pairs. Now, they are really awesome. The cloth material is really, really, really awesome. I have been working with them for over a year now, and I've seen their material, I've used their materials, and they are certainly the best in their industries from where we are getting the things made. So if you want your merch, please go to www. I said www 4 times, right? facebook.com/by pairs. That is the shop name, or the Facebook page name. Now, coming back to the topics. Now, you heard the hauntings, and if you Google, even you will know what are the things that happen in general hauntings, or the hauntings that I mentioned about. I'll be getting a more better explanation from what I gave to you. So now, people generally ask for solution, that if we encounter anyone or nearly all such activities, what are we going to do? What is the solution to it? There's one solution: do not fear. That is one of the most basic things that you should be knowing. If you know, or if you feel that your house is haunted, do not fear. Do not get scared of what is happening. If you're getting scared, if you are having fear in your mind, regarding that particular incident that is happening, then basically you are helping them in their mission. Now, if it is a good spirit, And so it is fine, like, right, if you are a good spirit, it is fine. If you're getting scared, it's fine, it won't going to do much of harm to you. But what if it is a bad spirit, or like we mentioned about the demonic things and whatnot? Now if you are fearing, you're basically helping them. Like I said, you are basically helping them in what they are trying to do. When you're fearing, when you're scared, you're basically going down with, or I would say, your energy field, basically the protective energy field that you have around your soul, around your body, basically the aura, it get loosens up. And when it gets loosens up, and sorry, and when it gets loosened up, you're basically more vulnerable to spiritual attacks or spiritual attachments. So no matter what kind of activity is going on, no matter what kind of spirit is haunting you, do not fear. Right, you know this thing is happening, try to have a rational explanation. If you fail to have a rational explanation, there are many times, no matter at what part of the world you are residing, or you're living, or your friend is living who is a victim of paranormal activities, then there are paranormal teams who are doing their job, basically trying to help you in such situations. So if you feel your house is haunted, or your friend's house is haunted, so do not be scared. Three steps, right? First, if you feel your house is haunted, you have like you're experiencing activities and basically paranormal activities, first thing is try to have a rational explanation. This is the most basic should do after you have experienced a paranormal activity, right? Have a curious mind, not the fear of a victim. Have a curious mind, right? Second step, if you believe and your explanations, rational, rational explanations fail to give an explanation to what is happening at your place. Second step is not to be scared. They're just beings, good, bad. They're just beings who have entered a place illegally, basically, and are trying to harm you. So what you would do? Would you just go and cover yourself with a blanket, or you would take a weapon or a knife and you just go and attack on them? Yes, do not fear. Third, after proper analyzing and after not getting scared of what is happening and what not, try to contact a paranormal for a, try to contact a paranormal team. So they are experienced, they know their job, they know what they're doing. So call them, invite them, let them investigate their place, and पानी का पानी दूध का दूध हो जाएगा वहां पे, right? So this is how you tackle hauntings. I think that was a complete 45 minutes talk from my side. And then again, thank you so much. We have completed a month nearly for the Paranormal Chat Show, and we had amazing guests during the starting of the show. So we had Pair's co-founder Pooja, along with three members, Rahul and Aniket, and then later on we had one of my amazing friends, Brian Holloway, all the way from the United Kingdom. And then we had Savio from Mumbai, who is a MBA trainer and an NLP teacher, basically, who so he was there on the show, and with all the guests we were talking anything and everything that's paranormal. So thank you so much, guys. I think this is now I'll conclude the Paranormal Chat Show episode number 5 right here, by by giving you some links. And actually all the basic links are in the description. If you want to buy merch, if you want to do a paranormal course that designed by me and my team, the link is in the description. If you want to like go to our page and look out what's happening not with our team, like we are doing many amazing things every single month. So please go like the page, and the link is facebook.com/pairs India. And to buy your merch, go to facebook.com/buypairs to know more about pairs and the courses that we provide. Go to paranormalindia.org And I have also put my Instagram handle below. It is official Sarbajit M underscore ghost hunter. So go and do follow me if you're on Instagram. Apart from that, if you like this show, please do subscribe to our channel. We are aiming 200 subscribers. We are at 184, and we are targeting 200 subscribers at the end of this year. Like we have 45 days more to achieve this, and I think we can, because you people have been amazing with your responses and the way you are showing your love to us. And thank you so much. With this, good night to whoever is sleeping, going to sleep, or who is about to sleep. Good night to them, and those who just woke up and are going for their daily work. All the best at your work, and have an amazing day at your place. And yeah, this is Sarbajit Mohanty from the Parapsychology and Investigation Research Society, signing off from the paranormal episode. Sorry, again I'm fumbling. This is Sarbajit Mohanty, take two. This is Sarbajit Mohanty from the Parapsychology and Investigation Research Society, signing off from the Paranormal Chat Show, episode 5.